So welcome Plastic Ocean team heading off in the beginning of March. So this is exciting, only a few weeks to go. And the purpose of this Zoom call is to get you organized. So I know only half the team are here today, not even half. That's fine. I understand those that can't make it. You're probably working very hard. But for those that are here, okay, this is the opportunity to stick your hand up. I'm going to prattle on discussing your itinerary, your flights, your money, extra costs to budget for, phones, SIM card, Wi-Fi, kit list, personal admin, health and safety. Okay, we're going to rattle through that. And at every point, you know, before I move on to the next, just ask me questions, okay? Because I just don't want, otherwise it's hopeless. If you then stop the Zoom and think, damn, I wish I'd asked that. This is your opportunity. Okay, so starting off with your flights. Okie dokes. So let me just get up on my screen the flight Google Doc. I'm just going to tell you who is on which flight. Okie dokie. So here we go. Now, this is a weird flight, as we know. When we went to book it, to get the flight from Trailfinders, the best flight was kind of via Zurich. I know recently that flight has gone stratospherically through the roof price-wise. Other people are now on KLM, American Airlines, or United. So it's all absolutely fine. Whatever time you arrive, you will be picked up, okay, by our team. So I will send literally the week before you go, and I've got everyone's team details, a flight schedule, so you can see who is on your flight, and then you can email and make arrangements to maybe meet up at Heathrow after passport control. Okay, we strongly advise everyone, it's such a kind of stressful moment, isn't it? Getting your bag on, do that by yourself, say goodbyes, and then meet airside. Okay, but we will do that the week before you go. But from the moment you arrive in Costa Rica, you will be picked up by our team. When you come out at the airport, there is a kind of big double doors that open up and a big kind of covered outside area. That is where you wait. Okay, don't go wandering off and go into the cafe because no one can see you or find you there. So stay put outside. If they're not there, just wait 10 minutes. They'll just be parking. They'll be going round and round in circles trying to find somewhere to park. So just be patient. They will be there with a Leap Jaquera sign. Hop in the car and off you go to the Rosa of America, where you will all meet up for that first night. The Rosa is about 20 minutes from the airport. It's a sweet, sweet hotel. We've used it for years now as our kind of assembly point for all the team. It's sweet. It's got a kind of compound. It's got a little pool, little kind of bedrooms, kind of rondavels, kind of 2 or 3 to a room. Local. The food is local. So this is your first moment of welcome to the world of pinto. Pinto beans. This is it. So you'll be having pintos for supper and for breakfast, but you'll soon get used to that. Okay, then on the first day, then the next morning, you'll wake up and you'll be on your big journey to Santa Teresa. That takes about 6 hours. So you just got to you'll all be discombobulated with the time difference. So you just kind of sit tight and enjoy the journey. It's a kind of bus journey to the ferry. And then you've got for about 2.5 hours. Then on the ferry crossing is about 1.5 hours. And then you've got another 1.5 hours on the other side. So your first 3 weeks, your program is divided into 2. The first 3 weeks are going to be at Jaquera. The second 3 weeks, moving around the countryside. Okay, so your first 3 weeks, let's talk about Jaquera. Here you're going to be based at Jaquera Camp, which is right in the middle of Santa Teresa, which is a town which is about 1 kilometer long, running the lengthways of most beautiful beaches. Okay, you've got, and Jaquera is about a 10-15 minute walk up a very steep hill away from the beach. Okay, In Jaquira, the plot, it's a big 5-acre plot. We've worked there with Chris and his family for about 15 years now. It's been kind of developed. It's got his home. It's got lots of kind of bunk houses all around a little swimming pool. Well, Chris hates it when I say that, a big swimming pool. And then a covered area where you eat, hang out, chilled, hammocks, pizza ovens. It's a really happy, got a great vibe place. A huge telly, so when there's rugby matches are going on or football matches, you can guarantee that that's on. You know, it's a fun place to be. So you have the LEAP volunteers, and at the same time they accept other volunteers like the LEAPers, but they come from Holland. I know, who knew? So you'll be also meeting a load of Dutch. So it makes for a really kind of fun place. It's kind of, damn it, they're all doing their things and coming and going, but you cross quite a lot. And in the evenings, especially, kind of drinks at the bar, and you know, it's lively. So in that first 3 weeks, the first week, it's settling in, learning a bit of Spanish, and learning to surf. Okay, learning to surf is really, really important, because the ocean there, it looks pristine, perfect. It's one of the top surf beaches in the world, but it has a dangerous riptide. And I know that because I've been caught in it and whipped out to sea. So part of the surf course is actually teaching you about beach swimming management. Okay, so it's not that place you just go, wahey, and you just kind of fly into the water. You don't swim like that there. It's very heavily patrolled by lifeguards. There are areas every day where you can swim and you can't swim. So you've got to kind of listen up and concentrate. Unlike myself, who clearly wasn't listening. So that's the kind of the first week. But the surfing vibe you will see in Santa Teresa is huge. Everybody surfs there. It's part of the culture. Everybody looks like, you know, they've been in that movie Point Break. You know, it's all very cool. They're covered in tattoos. Not that you're going to return with a tattoo, but, you know, it's got that hippie chic, surfy vibe. Okay, so you will love. So week 1, that's what you're focusing on. Settling in, getting into your Spanish, learning to surf, and being introduced to the projects. Okay, the projects are, throughout this entire program, fall under the umbrella of Plastic Oceans. And what that means is, well, actually not what that means, why you will see those beautiful beaches are plagued by plastic. The Pacific Ocean is a plastic dumping ground, and every single day you will see on that beach, and I'm not joking, fridges, microwaves, parts of cars, bicycles, dumped by the waves. Literally, you will be horrified. So it is an ongoing battle with the local community to keep these beaches pristine and beautiful. So that is why all our leapers for the last 10 years are part of this push, because every day it's an ongoing, it's never over. So yes, there's a litter picking up. Yes, it's going to the recycling centre set up by Pharrell Williams, where you see all the process. It gets picked up, gets to the recycling centre. Everyone loves it. I don't know why. All sorted there, gets sent to America, gets made into plastic thread, gets made into groovy clothes. Money comes back to the community. So you see a very simple community initiative just working efficiently. Government's not involved. This is local people making a local difference. At the same time, you'll be introduced to permaculture projects, how this community are trying to become self-sustainable, how they are picking up the plastic bottles, and inventive people of plastic, you know, melting down the bottle tops and making groovy furniture, lighting. You know, you will see all of this. It's just really interesting. Interesting solutions to the big plastic problem that they have. So every day in week 2 and week 3, you'll be doing a combination of learning to speak Spanish, and it's really important because it's not like Asia or Africa. People really don't speak English. They don't even try. So you really need to learn the basics. So you'll be learning to speak Spanish, learning, getting involved with the plastics and going on. There's always a hike, there's always an outing to go exploring the waterfalls, the beaches, the surrounding jungle. Okay, that is the itinerary for week 3, for the first 3 weeks. Whilst you are at Santa Teresa, let's talk about the food. Okay, you will be having breakfast and lunch in camp. Supper is out in town. Now, I'm telling you now, Costa Rica is expensive. So you have to manage this, okay? I don't want anyone saying, oh, I spend thousands of pounds, which you can. You can go and have cocktails and sushi every night if you want, but you're not going to do that. You're going to seek out the local Costa Rican places to eat. You're going to go to the supermarket and eat in camp and cook yourselves. You know, there are ways around this. Going out is a treat. So you just got to kind of juggle where you go and how you do this. But our guys on the ground will help you kind of navigate that. Okay. But Santa Teresa is a fun, funky place. So there is loads to do every evening, in camp, out of camp, lots to do. Okay. So everyone happy on week 3, the first 3 weeks? Good. Great. The next 3 weeks is you're now off on your little journey, and you'll be ready for this. Okay, so the first, let me just get your itinerary up. Wait. Where are you? Yeah, the first thing is you're going to move to Cirenas, which is just down, well, it's about an hour's drive, but most people walk if the tide is right all the way around the coast. Now, during the next 3 weeks, you're going to go to 2 turtle sanctuaries, okay? The reason you're going to 2 is one is privately owned, Cirenas, one is government owned, and that's ASVO. And my God, you're going to see the difference between income and no income, but both you will love. So Cirenas is beautiful. It's a turtle sanctuary in the middle of this reserve. Everything is pristine and beautifully kept, and you've got these lovely bunk houses and delicious food. You're going to get involved with the turtle work there, but also the permaculture, and it's a whole self-sustainable kind of permaculture, chickens, you name it, they can feed themselves and the whole community. So it's really an interesting thing to see. So you've got about 4 days there. Everything's including there, all your meals, And it's a bit of off-grid experience. So it's literally downtime, phones down, drift off, and you feel a million miles away from everything. From there, you're then going to go inland to Monteverde. And Monteverde is the cloud forest. This is where it gets chilly. So this is where you whip your trousers out and a fleece or a kind of jacket or something, because it is high up. This is you're here for, let me tell you, you're in Cirenas for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Then you're in Monteverde 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, which is perfect. Every morning you're going to have an activity in Monteverde, and every afternoon is free time for you to go exploring and do the weird and wonderful things that everybody likes to do, such as zip wiring, such as going on maybe on a coffee trail, such as horse riding, going on the high canopy trail. There's all those sorts of things to do. You don't need to think about it until you get there. Monteverde is a really cute town. It's a tiny town. It's literally got a crossroads in it, and it's got a few funky kind of restaurants, bars, loads of really local ones, which our guides will take you to, which are really fun. But you feel a million miles away. It's really, really different from beachside Costa Rica. Okay. From Monteverde, you will then go down to your last phase, which is to Samara Beach. Now, here at Samara, you are going to be treated to a little bit of downtime, a bit of yoga, a bit more surfing, but you will have been busy throughout this. So this is when people say, please, can we stop and just literally have a day off? And this is where you'll be able to do just that. But not before we whipped you off to go to ASVO, your final bit of volunteering, which is the government-run turtle sanctuary. This is your Robinson Crusoe experience. It is rough and it is wild. We're talking tin house, with a tin roof, open-sided, bunk beds, mosquito net, that's all provided. But everyone has to do their own cooking. But everyone loves it because you really feel deserted. You have to do a river crossing to get there. So it's really exciting. And let's just hope the turtles are there. You never know with turtles whether you're going to see one, even if you were there in peak season, which is December, January. So fingers crossed, the turtles are on your side, but they are quite elusive. But there is still lots of work to be done. And you will learn so much about the turtles. The teenage lost years, where literally they zip off for about 20 years, the babies, never seen, and then they return back to their base. Who knew? They're amazing. Anyway, you will learn all of that. So in each place, I'm just going to recap on costs that when it comes to the food. Okay, in Santa Teresa, breakfast and lunch included, supper not. In the 2 turtle sanctuaries, all food included. Okay, at Samara Beach and in Monteverde, breakfast and lunch included, supper is not. Now, budgeting for that supper, I would say you've got to budget $10 to $15 a night. Okay, so it does add up. And then the other extra costs which people budget for, okay, is the Tortuga Island outing. Everybody seems to love this. This is where you go out on the boats from Santa Teresa out to the islands, whale watching, dolphin watching, and snorkeling with amazing things. Now, I think at the last count, that was about $70-ish. So you don't have to do this, but this is just, if somebody says to you, oh, I want to contribute to your trip, you could say, oh, I'd like you to contribute to my Tortuga trip outing. The zip wiring, everybody does that. And that's about $60-70. Bungee jumping, why people do that, that's about $85. You don't really need to do that because of the zip wiring. At the end of the zip wiring experience, there's this hideous thing called the Tarzan swing, which you jump off and literally just kind of have that free fall experience and fly across the canopy and back. So that would give you the same sensation as flying off on a bungee jump. So if you really want to do both, do, but most people just do the zip wire. If I was to budget anything and say you've got to do one thing, it would be the zip wiring trip. It's really, really cool. So those 3 things are the main things. Everything else is kind of $10, $20. If you were at Santa Teresa and you wanted to do more yoga, you could go and do yoga for kind of $10, $15 for the session. That's everywhere. Extra surfing, I think they get a deal, kind of $40 for a trip out. So all of that you can just sort when you're there. But the food, the drink, that is up to you. And the extras, the extra activities, those are what I just wanted to bring your attention to. Any questions so far? No. Okay. Money. How are you going to deal money management? Okay. Most people it is essential. You are to take a debit card. Okay. And in addition, a Revolut or Starling card. If you've got a Monzo, that's fine, but it's just not that reliable. Weirdly, we don't know why, Monzo can work in some banks, but not on the others. Whereas Revolut and Starling are a little bit more reliable. Okay, but should you lose a card, okay, so when you go out in the evenings, you only have one card. Yes, they do a lot of kind of, you can pay a lot of things as you go, suppers, drinks on your card, or you get the local currency out from the ATMs, which are everywhere. That would be that's what I would do if I was running my money, because they will, if you pay on your card in a restaurant, they will charge you in dollars and then you've got all that exchange rate. If you pay in dollars, cash, they will give you change in the local currency. So it's a quick, easy way to get muddled, mithered, and ripped off. So I would get local currency out and pay with that as you go along. Okay. Phones. Everybody is going to take 2 telephones. You're going to take your sexy brand new phone, which has got your life on it, and you are going to take a knackered phone, which is probably somewhere in a hidden kitchen drawer. Okay. The reason being, if you break, smash, lose that phone, it is impossible. Well, it is hugely costly to get a replacement. Okay. It's a $1,000 job. Okay. To get an interactive iPhone, sexy iPhone in Costa Rica. So please take 2 phones. When it comes to SIM cards and Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is everywhere apart from at the 2 turtle sanctuaries. Okay. SIM cards are everywhere and so easy to get. The first couple of days, you'll be taken around the town to get organized. So easy to pop one in your phone. Okay. Or you just keep relying on Wi-Fi. It's up to you. Any questions on phones or money?
Going back to when you said, what happens if you do happen to lose a card out there? Is there opportunity to get another one, or
if you lose what, Tom?
If you lose your card out there, so you lose a wallet or something.
If you lose your wallet, okay, then I would be saying to all parents, you have all those emergency bank details on your at home somewhere. So should you, the worst case scenario, get your phone and your wallet nicked and you can't do anything in Costa Rica, you can somehow get a message through to home who can cancel everything down for you.
Okay. And the other question I had about SIMs is, obviously I'll be going out there with the current SIM in my phone. Should I get a SIM beforehand with a contract so I can use it straight away, or is it just better to get there and then buy it there?
Get it when you're out there, the local network SIM. But what I just make sure is that your phone is open so it can take other SIMs.
Okay. Would that mean maybe for the first day you wouldn't be able to use your phone? Not that's a big deal. I'm just curious.
No. It's not a big deal. You will be able to use Wi-Fi.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all I had to ask.
If you were to lose all your money, to get your wallet stolen, then that's why it's really good to have 2 cards so that you would never go out with everything in one bag. You would only have literally 1 card, or you go out with your cash. You leave everything in the accommodation. Okay. And you never leave a bag unattended. And you always put it in a money belt. You know, those.
Something I did want to ask is, say you had a couple of valuables on you and you wanted to go surfing, would you just leave all the valuables, like your phone and that, in the accommodation and then go down to the beach rather than leave a bag on the beach or something like that?
Well, it depends. If you were going independently surfing, you would leave everything back at base and just waddle down the hill with your surfboard under your arm. If you were doing the surfing lessons, then you leave all your valuables at the surf school.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, kit. On the kit list, I am just going to check it, but the kit list in My Leap, everything on there is for a reason. So if you see sleeping sheet, pillowcase, really random stuff, I can't think off the top of my head what is so random on there, take it. You will need it. Okay. So I will just double check after this Zoom that everything is perfect with the feedback from the current group that are out there. But you will need a pair of trousers and you will need a warmish jumper or one of those Unigo little puffer jackets, because when you're in Monteverde, it does get cold. Washing your clothes, very easy to do in every location. In the camp, there's somewhere, I think they kind of charge $10 for a bag. I don't know what the size of the bag is. there's laundrettes. So throughout your journey, you can get clothes washed. I recommend that you just wash your underwear in the shower every night. There's washing lines everywhere, so you can manage that. And post. Please do not leave anything behind, because there is no post to Costa Rica. Okay, it gets lost. Well, it gets stolen on its way to Costa Rica, and they charge a huge amount of import tax. So, you know, there's one poor girl that just arrived last week. She had forgotten all her underwear and her swimmers. I mean, who knew? A horror. So don't leave anything behind. Okay, you know, a lot of people, you know, it can happen, but please don't. Okay, check your packing and check it again. Personal admin. Okay, now this is where we need you to just be brutally honest. We have seen it all, we've heard it all. Nothing shocks us. So please just tell us if you've got nut allergies, any mental health issues, any physical issues. We need to know so we can best look after you while you are out there. Okay, we can deal with everything. What we hate are surprises. So in the past, people have arrived and told us that they basically are allergic to everything, and it's a nightmare. So just tell us straight up before you go. Health and safety. Okay, this is where I put my very, you know, sturdy kind of headmistress hat on. Okay, you are not on a school trip. You have the freedom of a gap year program, but you are still under our care. Okay, so if our leaders, which they will, especially in Santa Teresa, guide you as to places to go, places not to go, and explain why, please listen up. Okay, because they've got on the ground information, you know, like all parts of town. There might be a dodgy part of town or something they've heard of that they don't like. They will, it is our responsibility to keep you safe. Drink, drugs, rowdy, just behavior, annoying behavior is really annoying. And we've seen it all, and we've allowed people to kind of push the boundaries, and we don't do that anymore. So if you think it's okay to get absolutely plastered and come back and wake a whole camp up and put loud music on, it's not. It's just really antisocial. So antisocial behavior, that's what it's called. We just, you know, we're just not tolerating it anymore. So if that is how you're going to behave, and I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying this is how, if one was to behave like this is how we're going to deal with it. You get a proper warning from Jack, who's head of camp. Okay, and that's all between you. If you do it again, you then get a written letter from me saying that's it, second warning. If you do it again, you're asked to leave. Okay, so that is how, you know, antisocial behavior, dangerous behavior, putting you and the rest of the team at risk is dealt with. Okay, but this year everyone has been beautifully behaved, and we haven't had, no letters have had to be written, so that is all good. So that, my treats, is that is everything that I wanted to cover. So anything from your end that you think you want to, that I haven't covered? Any questions?
I was just curious with the Spanish. It's possible that people will be at different levels of Spanish. So is there multiple lessons going on at once, or how does that work based on people's
multiple lessons going on at once?
Okay.
Multiple lessons. And so you'll all be divvied up and put into the right group. And these Spanish lessons, they are not arduous, horrible school-like lessons. It's all about just conversations. So some of the lessons could be down at the beach, could be, you know, around the pool. It's all very relaxed, but the teachers are kind of fabulous and you will love them. But don't go thinking, oh Christ, this is like a school lesson. It's not. Okay.
And would you advise just to try and learn some Spanish before you go out there?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, my name is, you know, how are you? Have a good day. Just general chit chat, especially when you're in the communities, because we're getting more and more involved with the communities. So, which I know I haven't talked about because you can't rely on it, because you have to, it depends on the time of whether they're school terms, but there's often a football match, there's often going into the schools, often the kids coming to learn how to swim, and English is not their first language, so just fun, just general chit chat is useful. Okay.
I have a quick question about jabs.
Yeah.
I noticed on the advice you said to get rabies, but it was optional. I have in my local surgery, they've like run out of the rabies jab. So if I were to get it, I would only be able to get maybe 1 or 2. Do you think it's quite you should quite advised to get rabies?
No, they say in Costa Rica, they say that there is no rabies in Costa Rica. So that is what the Costa Ricans say. In 30 years of working, we have never come across a rabies epidemic. So the risk is very, very low.
Okay, thank you.
Medical, when it comes to medical issues, is really important, especially out there in the heat and the humidity, that you self-management, especially if you get a cut, mosquito bites, that you look after them. If they do look like they're getting a bit infected, which they quickly do, then you are not to sit tight and think that is okay. You are to go to your project leader and they would get you to the pharmacy and get you treated, because skin infections are really dangerous. So skin infections and dehydration are 2 of the main things that we worry about. I'm not going to drill it into you now because Jack and the team will drill it into you on arrival, but you've got to, look after yourself and raise the alarm before it's too late. Okay? Not before it's too late. That sounds rather like God, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we've got 4 minutes left. So I think when it comes to, are you going to go onward traveling afterwards? That's the question that I don't want you to even think about or worry about until you're out there. Okay, if you are going to go onward traveling, we will help you and guide you, but I don't want you to think about it until at least week 4. Okay, when you've really settled in, made your friends, you got into the groove, then you will think very differently about that opportunity, if it's possible or not. You will be such a different person from before you go. So hold fire on all those decisions. Okay, just focus on the first thing first, which is arriving, getting into the groove, getting over your jet lag, and making the most of this incredible experience which is coming. Okie dokes. Okay, team. So that's it. Over and out. Over and out.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.